Go deep.
I think.
I'm here.
What about? Still have trouble with that. We all want to go around. And come back and then we go around. You know, really something well. So we got it. Yeah. Yeah, she did. Yeah.
We can do that.
Three, 1, 2, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, it's far as well. Yeah, but it's fun. That one is not now. See, this far.
Somebody about no.
We're going to do 3 of the first figure techniques and then we give the meaningful and 2 of Thank you. It was before. And what are you guys? How much were these days?
Okay, where is Canada? Oh, got it.
You know, get the rules and then, 16 tons. Yeah, oh, yeah, we can do it again.
Hey, where's the minute?
If you want us to go to our, what am I doing? What do you need for me? For?
I need to get this too low.
What do you do? You're right, you're right. Yes. Then on to
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, to bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble are my middle name. I was raised in the canebrake by an old mama lion. Can't no high-toned woman make me walk the line. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't, a lot of men died. One fist of iron, the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store.
Somebody requested. Not another. Yeah. It's the journey that counts, right?
What's the symbol of Louisiana? What's the symbol?
Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Waiting in the front yard, sitting on a log. A single shot rifle and a one-eyed dog. Yonder come my kinfolk in the moonlight. Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em in the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. My brother Bill and my other brother Jack, belly full of beer and a possum in a sack. 15 kids in the front porch light. Louisiana Saturday night. When the kinfolk leave and the kids get fed, me and my woman gonna slip off to bed. Have a little fun when we turn out the lights. Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Yeah, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night. Get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night.
Get that. Yay. That's cool.
Déjate, quinte, déjate.
Watch it for a minute here.
Кочари.
Valleys.
Večerni bil ti da bere
Down there. I think he's there tonight.
What's next?
Dad, are you there?
Everybody's not doing
No, John has not joined us.
But I always put on that value that he wants. No, I don't. George,
What?
we're gonna do, you, what I don't know, this valley,
It's like the one we did.
what, just now?
Yeah, just like it. We'll do it next week.
Oh, okay, then I'm on to it. Okay. Why did you take my desk there now?
Why not?
Anybody want to do three by desk?
Hear one, we don't hear any other wishes. Why would it?
Maybe we take a review. Don't mind doing a review. All right. Got pulled down along. Oh, yeah, you got pulled down along, that's a great start. 1, 2, 3, and back. 1, 2, 3. 1, remember? 1, 2, 3, and double. And then double it up. And then go over there and see the middle. Yeah.
Aduce dor și iară vină. Hai pe la mândra prin grădină. Hai duce dor și vină iară. De trei ori până pe seară. Hop! Hai draga mea, aflare de munte. Hai eu ca ține nu vă dulce. Hai draga mea, aflare de șefe. Hai eu ca ține nu vă dulce. Hop, hop.
Oh boy, 10 minutes, we got time for three more, three more.
Okay. What is the computer cell? Yeah, the computer, something so less, no, yes. How about yeah, 14, we could do like 4 rows or. No, no. All right. Okay, Carla, we start going, yeah. Yeah. Now, let's do it else. Oh. Sure. We'll do that. Okay, Carl, when you get your road, yeah, that you were got, yes, yeah, she did. So it's really fun for when, it's 9:24. I got to let you know what I want to do. Okay. You see it? Yes. Somebody need it. Did you sneak that one? No.
Oro no oro.
John?
That's me.
You weren't there.
Hello?
Vivian said you weren't there.
Oh, no, I'm not really here.
He joined about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was like 10 minutes ago, but
Yeah, he was on. All right, I guess you missed it, John.
all right.
Sorry.
Not a problem.
Next time.
All right.
Hi, all. Bye, all. John,
Bye.
you're a co-host, so you could stay on.
Okay. I'll play
and
for
chat with
whoever's
folks.
left.
There you go. All right. I'll make you host.
Oh,
All right, because I'm about to drive, so I don't think I should be on.
where are you driving, from Skokie to St. Louis?
Nah, just from University City to Chesterfield. Hi, Marvin, if you could hear me. All right.
Oh, he probably not. He has to get up so early, you know.
Well, yeah, but he's on.
Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna log off from Skokie. Bye, everyone.
Hey, bye.
All right. Where's John? Oh, you're a co-host, so you're up there. Make host. Okay, you are now host. Hello, everybody. And goodbye, everybody, or have a happy New Year for those that think it's New Year.
Okay.
And let's see if I can get out of this. All right, you guys can have fun. Bye.
Bye. It's down to the hardcore again. Oh, but Marvin's still there. Anyway, I celebrate Druid New Year. And I was amazed.
You're funny.
Well, I'm a member of the United Reformed Druids of North America.
Really?
I joined when I was at Carleton College, and they needed.
When you were an elf in college?
No, I was at Carleton College, and they had a chapel requirement. So a group of people on my dorm floor said, "Enough of this," because you either had to go to their chapel service or a recognized religious institution like the two churches that were in town, or you could go to Hillel Club or Newman Club.
I didn't know we had that option.
Oh, at Carleton, we did, yeah. And,
Well, when I went to school in Germany, they asked my mom, Catholic or Protestant, and she said, "Well, we're Unitarian," and they didn't know what that was, so they had to divide me in two. Like in the Bible.
Well, who knows who Unitarians are? The Hungarians. I don't know about the Germans, but at least the Unitarian movement started in Transylvania with some Hungarian.
I know, but that's not Hungarian. That's Romanian. I know. I'm a Unitarian. I know these facts.
Okay, the soil is Romanian, but there was a large minority of Hungarians in Transylvania.
So are you going to say that the Ukrainian church is really Russian? You're kind of being nitpicker. Or maybe I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Well, let's put it this way. At the time the Unitarian Church was formed, Transylvania, presently in Romania, was in Hungary.
Okay, historically speaking.
Right.
Got it.
Yes.
Putin would say the same thing about Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't think the current Unitarian Church is anything really closely similar to the original Unitarian Church. So.
Can't quite hear you, Carrie. You're muffled.
The current Unitarian Church, I do not think is very close to the original Unitarian Church.
Can somebody translate that can hear him better than me?
All I heard is the Unitarian Church at the end.
Yeah.
It seems like he has an echo or something.
Well, we'll imagine what you said.
Well, I think we probably better not get too much into this subject because it could get.
So there's a couple of different Ukrainian churches. There's the Ukrainian Orthodox, which is
I don't know all that.
Russian Orthodox, and then there's this Uniate. That they actually think the Pope exists. I don't know if they bow down to him, but sometimes it's called Uniate Catholic.
Well, I'm thinking that tonight's group was smaller because of the holy days.
Oh, I'm sure that's a factor.
And is it true that Bob is not Jewish?
I don't know what he chose to be, but I think he had a Jewish wedding.
Oh, well, he just said something sort of derogatory at the very end. He said, those of you who believe this is the new year.
Oh,
that's not, he didn't mean it in a derogatory fashion. He meant those of you that celebrate this as the new year.
Well, I sort of know what he meant, but it didn't sound very nice.
Well, I'm sure that was not...
on his mind, and he probably was driving, as he said.
True.
And do you know that
I thought it was reasonable.
It's, I don't know how long it's been the New Year for Jews, but the Jewish New Year was originally at the vernal equinox. And they just kept adding New Years. I guess there's 3 now. But the vernal equinox used to be practically everybody's New Year. It was the Roman New Year.
Well, so what's the vernal vernal equinox? Is that the September fall
No,
one?
that's the March one.
March.
Spring, beginning of spring.
Well, that makes sense. The new year.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, some of the Jewish traditions revolve around the New Year. Certainly when they were under Persian rule. So both Passover and Purim are connected to that season. And there are lots of things associated with the Persian New Year, which are in Purim and in Passover, frankly. So,
Well, see, here's the weird thing. All those Catholics down in Argentina or Colombia, wherever, and they have different seasons, so their New Year would be now. Actually, I mean, I'm talking about not the Catholics, the Jews.
Their spring would be now, but
right. But if that's what we're talking about, that's the new year.
I meant North American spring.
I understood the Jewish New Year to be last week.
Well, yes, but it's a stretch of a holiday, you know, starting with Rosh Hashanah.
All the way to Passover?
Huh?
All the way to Passover?
No. To Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
I mean, from Rosh Hashanah, which means head of the year, to Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement.
Which is today.
Yeah.
I was wished Happy New Year yesterday.
Well, you know, they like to stretch out their New Year. You know, like we have 12
and
days
today
of Christmas.
from Bob.
Yes. Anyway, back to my being a druid.
Back to you talking.
All right, I'll let somebody else explain why I'm a druid.
We always get interesting tidbits when
we sort of got the point of that, though.
No, we got recognized as an organized religion, so we could establish when we had our meetings.
Exactly.
Didn't have to get up early on a Sunday. We had our meetings in the Arboretum Saturday night when everybody was having beer bashes out there, you know.
Did you run around naked?
Only in the middle of winter. Carleton definitely had a streaky tradition. This is back when they had segregated dorms, you know, women's dorms and men's dorms. And the rule was you had to be naked, but you were allowed to wear a cap on your head and socks on your feet. So there was.
So who invented these rules?
Well, one class or another, you know, they get handed down.
So the cap on the head, that has dual meanings.
Well, it kind of had to do with cutting down on hypothermia, I think, you know.
I wasn't talking about that. I was being sexy.
Oh, I missed it then. I missed part of it.
Cap on the head.
Okay, that sounds like
never mind.
A birth control method.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a little bit aside. We had streaking in my day too, but it was fully naked. But of course, Southern California is warm.
Oh, yeah, so I've heard.
Warmer than
I don't live there anymore.
Ah. Well, you still live in California, though.
Yes, and we have more like nudie cutie beaches.
Well, if you're not in Southern California, what, are you in Humboldt County or something?
Come on, that's the only two parts you know, Southern and Humboldt. I live about an hour north of San Francisco.
Okay, so
Sonoma County.
Sonoma, yes. Yes. Yes,
Santa Rosa.
And Anne has her Golden Gate Bridge.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I'm not there.
I know you're not.
Well, I tell you, I've made many a pilgrimage from San Francisco through Sonoma to Mendocino because I was going to this camp every year in the summer in Mendocino, in the woodlands.
The Lark in the morning?
Actually, a number of other camps that preceded Lark in the morning.
I went to one.
Scandia Camp, Folklore Camp, Balkan Music Camp, and for a while a Hungarian camp. And then,
Well, I go every year to Maryland's Razzmatazz weekend
oh,
only.
I heard they had the last one. I heard, was it that she's ending it or not?
She's done, but maybe
Yeah.
someone will pick up the baton.
I only made it once to that camp. Oh, well, no, I take it back. When it was a week long, I was at I guess it was the second one in 1981. And the first one was 1980, and she was one of 4 directors. And then it ceased to exist, but she kept it up as a weekend, just her.
Yeah.
And I went partly as a musician. I went when they had people teaching Sardinian dance and playing Sardinian music. I've lost
So
track of how long ago.
I don't have a Golden Gate Bridge, Ann, but I have my dancing space here. I took a photo of it and has that as my background. So it's always late afternoon here.
There you go.
So, but that's kind of cool to have, a sunlit background, even though it's night here.
Yeah.
So where in Sonoma are you?
I'm not in Sonoma County, but yeah, I'm north of Santa Rosa,
North of
about a
Santa
40-minute
Rosa.
drive to the coast.
How far from Santa Rosa?
About 10 minutes. Do you know that area?
I used to have a cousin in Santa Rosa, but
Are you at
No,
the
I live
butter
in
place?
Larkfield,
Oh,
unincorporated.
Okay. Now, what's the place where they always take down there's no signs telling you you're there because they don't want people there? Was that Healdsburg or?
I never heard of that.
Oh.
Healdsburg, they love their tourists. They want
Okay.
everyone to come.
Oh, they're selling butter all the time, I think.
Well, that might be Petaluma.
No, it's north of Petaluma.
Oh, out at the coast more. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's north of Sebastopol or something. Russian River. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been in that.
One of these years, I'll make it out to Chicago. I have a niece that lives there now.
Well, good, because I don't live there anymore, but I used to.
Well, I'm noticing that Carrie does.
Oh, Carrie. Well, he lives in a burb of Chicago, yeah. And of course, a lot of people that are dancing there live are, if not in the city, at least they're close by.
Oh, even Skokie's not in the city.
It's a burb.
Not in the city.
Well,
in the city.
George and
My
Diana.
niece lives sort of by the zoo.
By the zoo, yes. Well, that's definitely in Chicago.
You know that we had a huge heat wave here. It was like 115, the highest we've ever had, highest recorded. And now when I look at Death Valley's temperatures, I go, really? It's only 106? Come on.
Well,
It's all perspective, isn't it?
Isn't it hotter in the summer though?
The temperatures too.
Death Valley.
I still think
Death Valley can get higher, but it just happened to be when I looked at the weather.
I
Only
don't know.
100.
It was about 115 here in the summer, early summer.
Well, that's
Tucson.
Phoenix. It's to be
Tucson.
expected.
Tucson's cooler than Phoenix.
Are you in Tucson?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm from Morenci, Arizona, originally, born there. It was the whole town was blown up because they found copper ore under it. And so the place I was born is not there anymore.
Yeah, it's a mining town I've been through, but I don't know it much.
Why would you? Open pit. I think it's the 3rd largest open pit copper mine in the world.
Ah.
Really?
The biggest is in Chile.
Oh yeah.
And there's
If it's
some
still
other
active.
big ones in Arizona, aren't there? Like
I don't know. I always thought Arizona,
outside of
Morenci had a big one.
Oh, it could be. I don't know.
I think there's one in Western Australia too that's pretty big.
Possibly.
Um,
That town was built hierarchically. So the owner of the mine lived on the top. He probably didn't live there at all. Someone else lived. And he lived, I don't know what, paradise. And then down the mountain until you get to the bottom is all the miners live down there.
Now, where did you say? You said you were in West Springs? No, where did you say?
I didn't say that name, but I'm right there, a mile away from it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what's
The
your
fire? The big fire. We're celebrating, not celebrating, 5 years since our big 2017 fire.
Right.
40 people died.
Oh, my heavens.
Oh, wow.
What a way to go.
Hey, that's only, you know, a fourth of the number of people that died in the stampeding.
Oh, I know.
soccer
Wasn't that
fans.
terrible?
Yeah.
But the police caused that. It wasn't natural.
Yeah.
The fire. I
Wow.
had a friend who wears hearing aids, so we took him out at night, and he was killed. He didn't hear people knocking on the door.
Oh, my heavens. Well.
He worked out at the club that I worked out at.
Now, is that the one that was started by Pacific?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they finally took credit for it. There's something in the news recently about it. Oh, well.
But it was the wind, you know, the wind. I went to sleep that night saying, I told my sister, this wind reminds me of fire. And then it started like at 2 a.m. Whipped through. I had people writing in from Germany saying, that could never happen, a fire that fast. It's because the government puts down gasoline on everyone's houses to make it.
Oh, God.
Conspiracy theory. So I wrote back in German, since I can speak it, how wrong he was and how fast those winds are, and he has no clue.
Well, you know.
Well, there was a bigger fire. What was it, Paradise?
Paradise was burned
That's what
up.
it's talking about. We've been
No, I'm
about
talking
that.
about Santa Rosa.
Oh, Santa Rosa. Oh.
I think more died in Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a fire in Oakland too, right? But that was a couple of years before that, I think.
Where?
Oakland.
Oh, yeah. That was a bad one too.
Yeah.
But, and the same here, unlike Paradise, here a lot of people, the rich houses burned because they're up on the hill, you know, like the owner of the mine. And the poorer people didn't get it except for, you know, a few. One mobile home park got burned up. But in Paradise, everyone there is fairly poor. They're all retirees and they live in mobile home parks and so on. So that was sadder.
Oh, they weren't in the mountains there?
Well, no, they're on the downslope of a mountain, but they're more, you would say, lower, you know, foothills or whatever.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. I thought it was only the people who have to build in the forest. Apply.
No, the wind just comes, and then once it catches one, it just goes on to the next, and it just loves eating up those houses.
I guess it'll get here one of these days.
It's all the gas that the government puts on our roofs.
The gas on your roof? Are you serious?
Now that was a conspiracy theory someone told me.
Well, I have to tell you this. When I was in the army.
Oh, no. The German army or the Russian army?
Well, no. But in the Texas army, but I was supposed to be a Chinese linguist on standby, but my German was better than my Chinese because I went to high school in Germany.
I thought you were going to say that when you were in the army, you put all this gas in the plane and spread it all over our
Well,
roof.
it's something like that, because what happened was that while we were just standing around, basically, they would send us documents to translate. And these were things that congressmen would get from their constituents. And they would pass it on, you know, to this document.
But did you transcribe it correctly?
Well, it was all from German to English, which
I know, but you could have a lot of power over that.
Oh, I could have said all kinds of things. I mean, some of it was like I took a while, but I did the whole Swiss Civil Defense Manual into English, and that was very interesting because everybody, or at least all able-bodied and even not so able-bodied men,
Have to be in the army.
or the civil defense,
Yeah.
and they all had a role with all these emergencies or possibilities mapped out, and they would do this, they would be at this stage. You know, they all had a job to do, and they all had a carbine in their closet, you know, or something.
I know. I know.
But and it was in Hochdeutsch. I mean, the Swiss.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, the Swiss don't use their Swiss German, and I don't know if they ever use it in writing. So they basically have to learn Hochdeutsch in school. They have a Schweizer Aussprache, but you know, there's kind of speaking Hochdeutsch.
So what's the basic language in Sweden?
Well, they have 4 languages, but the Swiss is German you can't understand. They have their own unique German.
Ich habe verstanden, aber it's, you know, if you get used to Southern dialects, it's kind of on a spectrum with, you know, Schwedish.
Well, when I
Bayerisch.
visited my friend there, her kids would just look at me like, how come she doesn't understand us? And how come she's afraid of walking on the trails? They're just mountain goats.
I got used to Swiss
And
German.
these are like little 5 and 7-year-olds.
I had a little problem with Romansh, which was still actively spoken, at least then. This is in the 60s.
I think they still do.
That's the 4th language of Switzerland. You know, French, Italian, German, and Romansh.
What's that?
Well, it's a kind of a Romance language, but
More like Latin.
yeah, they say it's a little closer to Latin. But they, you know, like when I was in the Graubünden in the canton where they speak Romansh, the way they greeted each other was to say Allegro. Now the Italians say Allegro, but not as a greeting. You know?
No.
So
Happy.
yeah, happy to see you or something like that.
Cute.
Anyway.
Well, I'm going to get going. We didn't hear from you, Mercedes.
I've been, what do I have to put in there except it's interesting to listen
Oh,
to?
you're funny.
Well, you have to tell us about your Polish-Lithuanian adventures.
I just had them growing up, travel, to any of those interesting change of scenes.
So before you leave, Heidi, where did you dance in Sonoma County?
Oh, well, Marilyn has a group here every Tuesday night. Marilyn Smith is our leader.
Yeah. Okay, so she still has a group. All right.
Yep. And she has about 50 people in her class, a really big size class. It's fun.
Yeah. So I thought she had moved to Richmond or Pinole or someplace
She
like that.
moved to Richmond, but she drives up here every Tuesday and then she spends the night with some folk dance friends.
Okay.
And she asked me if I would teach a dance this semester, which I've never done before.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to summon my courage.
I brought her out to Chicago one year to teach French.
Pardon?
Sounds like you have plenty of courage.
I have different kind of courage than teaching a dance.
Ah.
It's all transferable.
I guess. But I have a sense of humor that will pull me through it, I think.
Well, wave hello to Marilyn from me. She'll
Okay, I will.
I can
Mr.
say with
Detroit
confidence
area.
that she'll remember me.
She has a good memory for people.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Even if they come to see her from 50 years ago, she still can recognize them and know them. And
Did you ever go on a pilgrimage with her when she was taking people to France for the stage?
I never have, but
I can't remember the name of the place.
I've done a lot with just on my own. You know, traveled all through Romania and Hungary and
Okay.
Czech Republic and France, all over. I have French friends, so
Yeah. Okay. Then
I'm more of a solo traveler. I'm not so much for groups.
I mean, I basically am too, but I did go on a tour that was mostly in Hungary and a touch in Slovakia because of a very high recommendation from a couple I know that live in St. Louis, the Ulemans, who had been on a previous one that was like the second or third one that was done. And I knew the person that organized the Hungarian side, Botyu Farkas, one of the teachers.
Still under communist rule?
it's under autocratic rule, but it's not communist. It's
well, no, but
fascist.
When I was there, it was still communist.
Oh no, this is like 5 years ago.
Okay.
But it was in the Orban era. He hadn't quite put out quite as many personal restrictions, but you know, he's being.
I don't know that he allows Druids into his country.
You know, I'm not sure, but I don't think I stated that I was Druid.
I'm joking.
Oh, you are?
Everything I say
Can't
is
tell
joke.
by looking.
When I tilt my head, I'm joking.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm going to just let you know this, that you can Google on United Reformed Druids in North America, and the group still exists. Somebody is maintaining it.
Wow.
I thought, you know, it served its purpose, and then that would be it. Because the next year they did away with the chapel requirement.
Oh, good.
Is that right? What year was that?
1966.
Giving away your age.
Oh, I give it away as often as possible. I'm 75. So now I can get through TSA. I think that's the age.
Oh my God.
Don't have to take off my shoes or something.
They still have to pat me down and everything. They don't trust me. I don't know why.
Oh, they always pat down.
That was a joke.
You know? Oh.
Okay. I have to go. I'm going to say goodbye. So nice talking to you guys.
What's your last name, Heidi?
Hochrein.
That's right. I forgot it, but we had this discussion before.
Hochrein.
Yeah, Hochrein, you are very pure.
But I'm
You're
I'm Hochrein here.
All right. Gotcha. All right. Talk to you later. Oh, down to the even harder core.
Yes, and I'm gonna probably leave us because I gotta get up early in the morning.
Okay.
Somebody's going to get up.
Now
early?
Deet's coming on. So I'm going to figure out.
I'll stay to say. Hello, Dee.
So tell her I've been playing the whole time.
Tell her I've been playing the whole time.
Always prepared.
Hey, I'm sorry, John.
Oh, not a problem. I was later than usual, but I was there about 10:15 or something. And at that point, I said, "Well, I'm only going to play one number," you know.
Well,
that's
yeah.
all right. Now next week, I won't be there.
Okay.
I'll be in Ohio.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm around for a while. Yeah, then I should be.
Well, we know you'll be around, but are you going to be around to play for Deet?
Well, if I had a laptop, I'd do it. I'd take it with me to Ohio, but I don't. I have a lap, but I don't have a laptop. So.
How can you not have a laptop?
Hey.
An iPad? No.
You know when I got a cell phone? You know when I got a car?
Oh, you can do that.
I was 40 when I got a car. I think I was 50 when I got an answering machine. And maybe 60 when I got a cell phone. I'm slowly joining the 20th century now that it's the 21st century. Yeah.
Password?
Some of those things weren't popular or commonly used
What?
25 years ago.
Well, you know, the problem I have now is that various places like doctors, specialists, you know, they text me to remind me of an appointment and to check in electronically, and they send it as a text message to my phone, but it's a dumb phone. I can't click on anything. You know, I can't check in electronically. So all I can do is call them and say, "Hey, what do you want me to do? You know, I'm here." And but that usually takes 30 minutes of waiting. You know,
Yeah.
so I might succumb eventually and go back to having a smartphone. I had one for about 5 months.
Well, I have things that people, I have a landline at home yet. And sometimes, because that's the number I give a lot, and I'll finally get something in email saying, you haven't been replying to our text messages. And I have called a couple of them, emails or something, or respond to them and say, it's because the telephone is a landline. You can't text.
Well,
And I got some things that are calling, and they obviously want me to answer, and I won't. If I don't know, even if I know your name, but it doesn't mean anything to me, I won't answer it on my laptop.
Where's Bobby?
Who?
Bobby. Bob.
Bobby's driving,
He's
Oh,
driving.
so he made
Where
me the
was he? At
host.
somebody's house for breakfast?
He's
We don't-
driving. He said he's driving to Chesterfield.
Well, that's where he lives. So maybe he was at Temple or something.
He was leaving someplace to go.
Yeah, I hear this is a Druid holiday today.
I gotta tell you something. Bobby's not there, right?
Right.
No, he's not there.
So every year on Yom Kippur, he calls me and he says, Mom, I want to apologize for anything I may have said throughout the year to hurt your feelings. Not this year. I didn't get that apology this year. What
This
does
is-
that mean?
Got a guilt feeling.
Covering his bases for atonement, you know.
Yeah.
Now that was back when Jewish New Year was at the vernal equinox. That's when atonement also was.
Well, that's what they do. They atone. They atone for their sins.
Right, but you
That's
know,
why Bobby would call and say,
Not in the springtime.
the Persians atoned in their spring. The Chinese atoned at their Chinese New Year, which, although usually kind of falls in February or something.
January to February, yeah.
Well, but the day after Chinese New Year is when they start calling the season spring.
oh,
And yeah, and so like it's pretty universal that you clean up your act for the start of whenever you think your New Year starts. So that means atoning for past sins. That means for settling all debts. That means for sweeping all your, tray for your past. The getting rid of your.
That's better.
What's the word for it? I just forgot. For getting rid.
garbage?
No. When something's not kosher for Passover.
Chametz.
Yeah.
Chametz.
Yeah, chametz. You got to get rid of all your chametz before the New Year. But not before what's now the New Year, but before Passover starts, right? And that the Chinese have to clean out everything. We have spring cleaning, we have secularly. It was all. Everybody was doing some similar set of rituals, but then we just started moving things around.
Things do start to get green here in February.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what does spring mean?
Spring,
Why is
jump,
spring called spring?
jump.
That's,
Yeah.
that's
Um,
probably more the pagan way.
well, you jump over the bonfire, which you do in June, but
It depends where they do it. Yes.
right. But what was I going to say?
I know in
Oh,
Racine we usually did it in May.
so the Latin word, for spring, is clearly connected to the word for green, vernal, verdant, you know. So
Bird.
it meant green time.
Oh,
What's the
Anyway,
Latin word? I don't remember.
verde.
yeah,
Verde?
yeah. Spring is Vernus or something like vernal equinox.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's a yeah, and that jumping over the bonfire to seal betrothals and all, which we now do. Catholics, I guess, now do on St. John's Day, like in June, like closer to midsummer. Uh, that was a spring ritual, and also what Catholics would do is you take all the ashes. Let's see, Palm Sunday, you burn all the palms up, and now you have ashes that you save for a year to smear on you for Ash Wednesday. So
really?
so it's like this: clean out the old, burn it, and sweep it. you know, kind of. There's just a whole bunch of features like that. I mean, the reason I'm even referring to all this is you might remember that the NFO, they asked me to do a talk on April Fool's Day,
Yeah.
and when I researched April Fool's Day, it opened this big box of related things. Uh, all these things we associate with April Fools are also the 13th day of Persian Nowruz. You do it like playing tricks, disguises, and uh,
Purim.
and that's very Purim-esque, yes, because you do the same things with Purim. Of course, the Jews were sitting there in Persia at the time, so anything that the Persians were doing, they probably did some version of, too. Anyway, yeah, I didn't realize how much I was getting into by investigating April Fool's customs.
It was interesting though.
Thanks for the info.
Okay, Mercedes. Bye. Oh, she left already. Well,
Anybody want popcorn?
now we just have to sit here and listen to Janet go on and on and on. So I assume I missed a good program, although I didn't hear anybody say. But I didn't see much of the chat. So.
I didn't expect to have too many people, because it's, but was it a viable group?
Yeah, you had what, about 16, 18 people?
I didn't count them. I don't know.
I kept trying to count.
Hmm.
Well, I'm going to tell you what you should have been doing.
What?
You should have been going down to Shuba's. So this woman I've known since she was like 10, Ava Selina Premack, and who's, you should have heard her sing Bulgarian when she was 10, much less now, and she's 40 or something now.
Where was this?
Well, I met her in California. Her parents are from California, from Santa Cruz, and she's in the group. She moved to New York. She was in a group that what's his name? Slavic Soul Party. She sings with them sometimes. And there's a member, this gypsy Romanian accordion player from Australia. place and backs her up. They sometimes go on little tours, just the two of them, and they're on a tour now. And so I got a message from her about it. I got the message at 11 a.m. this morning, and where she is at Shuba's in Chicago. But I'm sure they're done now. I was saying, damn, you should have gotten the gig on Tuesday or Thursday, and you could come play for the Wednesday night group.
Yeah.
Let's see. I forgot what I was going to say about it. Anyway, I guess she was a little late in getting her publicity out. But as a duo, they're a really nice duo together. And, huge repertoire of danceable stuff. So, I think I'm going to email her and say, hey, next time, even though I wouldn't have made it because I'm in Detroit, let people know. You never know. They might just skip out in Deet's group to go to your thing. Who knows?
Do it on Zoom.
Maybe they did. Maybe that's why you had fewer people. Anyway.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Well, thank you for having it anyway. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a late
I'd like to know
medical.
what the dances were, but
What?
I'd like to know the names of the dances, but I did those.
Well, who
I,
was
I
posting
don't know
it?
what to do about that. I can't write them.
Bobby.
They're on the board. I don't know why we can't put that board so that the Zoomers can see it.
Oh, that would be an
Because
idea.
they write every dance on the board, on the easel.
Well, Bobby used to post it when he could.
Now and then, yeah.
And then sometimes he'd say, hey, he'd text me or he'd chat me and say, do you know what that last one was or whatever,
No.
If I'm there. I might know and I might not, because I'm kind of far behind in the common repertoire.
I
Although,
announce it, I could announce it afterwards too.
Right,
If that
right.
would help, but,
Not close enough to the mic.
oh, is that it?
Hard to hear you, yeah.
Oh, I'll try and be conscious of that.
the problem is, Deet, you announce it in Yiddish and not everybody understands Yiddish.
What can I say?
I don't know. Anyway,
Vicky knew one or two, but
pardon me?
I said Vicky should know most of them, right? But she didn't. She
Which
told us
Vicky?
one, but she didn't tell us anything else.
What, Vicky from California?
Vicky Mayhew, I don't know where she is.
Oh, she's San Diego, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, she'd know quite a few. Yeah, she's pretty faithful about coming. Who else comes? Well, Heidi's from California, too. So. Yeah, boy.
A lot of people were at breakfast. It's become a social thing.
And that's what, late on Wednesday night?
Tonight, after
Sunday.
after Yom
sundown.
Kippur,
After sundown, yeah.
Yeah.
because they fast all day.
Right. Pretty much did
Well, I fasted all day.
I fasted most of them.
Well, but not because of Yom Kippur. It's because I had a endocrinology appointment and I was supposed to fast so they could check my blood sugar, fasting blood sugar.
Yeah,
But then they postponed my appointment.
so that's terrible.
It's supposed to be
You
9
should have
a.m.
that 8 o'clock
and
in the morning.
It was after 4 p.m. today.
Oh
Well,
my
actually,
God, so you couldn't eat anything.
I couldn't eat anything all day.
Oh dear.
It was all right. I mean, I can survive that.
You usually take the blood test. You could take it in the morning.
I do it myself every morning.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, this is just like a periodic endocrinology thing, once a year type thing. And but they had good news for me.
What's that?
My A1C
Yeah.
had dropped to a hair above pre-diabetic.
They're above pre-diabetic.
Yeah.
Pretty
If
good.
your A1C is between 6 and 7, that's considered pre-diabetic.
That's pretty high.
And it was at I don't know, a year ago it was at 6.9, and in April it was 6 something, I can't remember, and this was 6.1.
So what did you do to get there?
Lived. You
You
know,
didn't,
I
you didn't diet?
well, I think one thing that happened between April and now is after not dancing much or exercising in general because of COVID,
You
you know,
dancing.
I remember I do work out at a health club, swim and stuff like that, but it was
Yeah.
closed. Anyway, I went. I can't say I regularly dance here in Detroit. You know, it's like ends up being like once a month or something. But I went to 2-week-long dance camps,
Yeah. That'll
and I
do it.
went to a work week where I was doing a lot of physical labor, volunteer work week.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sure I had, you know, lowered something. I don't know what. I don't have a bad diet, so I don't know.
Are you worried about becoming diabetic?
Well,
Obviously.
technically, I might be, you know, because pre-diabetic, diabetic, you know what? It's like they have me on some medicine that they give diabetics. So,
Oh,
but I don't have any symptoms of diabetes. You know,
what are the symptoms?
Well, those numbers are your symptoms, right?
yeah, basically,
A1C.
that's the most reliable thing. Daily blood sugar, mine dances around so much. I don't know. It's supposed to be lowest after overnight fasting and highest an hour and a half after a meal. And sometimes it's highest after the fast and lower hour and a half after the meal. So it's I have a sporadic functioning pancreas, I guess. Anyway, I'm
glad it's better. That's good. I don't know if you can keep up. Dance
yeah.
camp.
Well, I'm gonna. I should be able to do more physical activity, even though the winter's coming, just because more things are open now. You know.
I can't get. That's a problem. They postponed my shot, which I was going to move closer, move it further away. I'll be in pain longer.
They postponed your shot.
The shot for to relieve the pain in my butt,
Oh, I forgot about that.
which inhibits my dancing and other activities.
Uh-huh. Well,
But eventually, this means more Tylenol, I guess.
well, all my vital signs were down, I would say. My blood pressure was 120 over 70.
Wow, that's great.
That sounds
And
pretty good. Yeah.
when I do it myself,
Yeah.
which I do about twice a week in the morning, it's usually 125 over
Why,
60.
are you taking blood pressure med?
I'm taking blood pressure meds, but I've
Oh.
never had high blood pressure.
Then why are you taking it?
Well, for the same reason I'm taking a statin, although I've never had high cholesterol.
Then why are you taking it?
I had a blockage in an artery in 2004, and they put a stent in.
Oh,
So what they're telling me is this. Okay, your cholesterol is way below what they consider threshold safe level of cholesterol
yeah.
on average for people. But you had a blockage with the cholesterol level that you had, so keep it below that. My HDL is like 55, LDL is 45. I'm sorry, all the way around. LDL is 55. And I think before my heart incident, it was 75. So it wasn't real high. So, yeah. So I'm on a beta blocker and a statin. I don't know.
How did you know you were blocked?
Well, I was going off to lunch one day at work when an elephant sat on my chest. Big pressure on the right side of my chest. So I went to the emergency room.
No.
And after waiting 45 minutes, they kind of triaged me and they slapped a heparin patch on me. Boom. It's like a blood thinner type thing. And it took them 5 days of dinking around to figure out. Because I had the really bad hip at the time, so they gave me a stress test, but they gave me not like on the treadmill. They gave me a chemical stress test. They just put something in you that whatever it does, and it was kind of inconclusive, ambiguous. So finally, they did an exploratory angiogram.
Oh.
And when they did that, and I'm wide awake, they use local anesthetic, and there's like a senior doctor and a trainee or something, and the senior doctor is saying to the trainee, well, now, see, blah, blah, this and that. And they're asking me questions like, so, do you smoke? Do you do this? Do you do that? And at one point, they make the offhand remark, well, John, given your age, etc., your artery's in pretty good shape. I'd say maybe a 5% buildup of and he didn't get the word out before they turned the corner with the camera, and here was this blockage.
Oh my God.
85% blockage in the artery.
Oh, wow.
Now, I didn't have a heart attack or any damage to the heart, but what they do is they just immediately, I guess they take out the camera, they put in some little rotor-rooter device, that scrapes the plaque, and then they insert a stent. So I have this titanium stent sitting there. But I've had absolutely no heart symptoms, since then, of any sort. And I have my own theory, which they debunked, about why that
What's
one
that?
spot. Well, about 10 or 15 years before that, I was riding my bike to work, and a guy opened his car door. He was parked on the side of the road. Suddenly opened his car door, and my bike bounced off the car door. So the wheel hit the car door, and that pushed my handlebar into my chest. Boom. And I bruised a rib. I just kept going to the hospital and called up work and said, well, I think I'll be a little late. So I had some visible surface bruising. I didn't break a rib or anything like that. And it's right at the spot where they pointed to and they said, here's where your
Blockages.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, and then I said to them, I had this bicycle injury. If it damaged the arterial wall, would the body then send, reinforcements of tissue to there
Yeah.
by, putting plaque there. And I said, oh, yeah. So I have no explanation for why it's there. Joe Graziosi had something similar, but more widespread, and he had much more severe blockage. And I don't know if he technically had any heart damage. Maybe not.
He's more overweight than you are.
Pardon me?
He's more overweight than you are, right?
It's hard for me to say because he's so muscular. Yeah, he gained a lot of weight. But he's also a lot shorter. So I don't know what his body mass index is. My body mass index classifies me as obese officially because it's like 30 something, 31. I'm not sure what the where they at what point they start calling it obese.
30.
30. Okay, so I'm right on that edge again. But he's had. I had the 2 hips with no cartilage left in them. But he's had all those knee problems and foot problem, and he had a lot more stuff hanging on that I think curbed his physical activity. He seems to be moving a lot better now, but it's been a slow process. I didn't make it to. He has a dance class from like 8 to 9.
On Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Works with yours, doesn't it? Yeah.
Right, 8 to 9
Eastern.
Eastern time.
That's 7 to 8. Yeah.
So it usually finishes. Well, I guess it overlaps. You start at 7:30. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it overlaps some, but I didn't get back until when he was done. And you had put in a good hour or so, or more than that, I guess. Yeah, because I had a busy medical day because I got a booster, COVID booster, and a
Flu shot.
flu shot, one in each arm.
I got a booster.
I gotta get the flu shot. Yeah.
I decided not to do them both in one day.
Me too.
Got the booster today.
Well, at least it's in different arms, so I could tell if there was a reaction or not.
Only on the arm. No, the rest of it.
3 in one day. There's a new pneumococcus vaccine too that's better than the old one.
Say it again? Can't hear you.
The new pneumococcus vaccine. So I got 3 in one day.
I don't know what you said, Carrie.
He got a third shot, which was for pneumonia.
Oh,
I didn't know
yeah.
there was a new pneumonia one.
Is there a new one?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, so if you had it 2 years ago, you're supposed to get another one? I gotta tell Bobby that.
Supposed to be updated, but I don't know how often.
Yeah.
You got other shingle shot too.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I need. So I had a shingle shot that was of the single shot type, the single shingle.
Single one? Oh.
And then a couple.
Shingrid. Shingrid. That's what it was called.
Was it? But then I had the series of 2 shots, 6 months apart.
That was the Shingrid.
Okay. Well, there was a previous thing that I'd had. I don't know, a year or 2 before that. Yeah.
I had one of those 2 shot things, but I never had the second one, so I don't know.
Really? I don't know. We gotta get a pneumonia shot.
I guess it's recommended.
Well, I should too.
And so far, it's all on Medicare, so You know,
Yeah, they don't cost me.
the bill was zero. I was surprised because I'm in the so-called donut hole.
Oh, yes. Me too. I dropped $400.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, when I had cataract surgery, there was like hardly any charge for the operation. I don't know if there was a charge for the operation. There was a fee, a facility fee that was not from my ophthalmologist, but he uses, there's some sort of operation theater.
Laser, they charge more for laser.
Oh, no, I don't think it was laser. It was sledgehammer. Um, well, but you know, he doesn't have his own operating thing. So there's some sort of operating theater that different different doctors can use at different times. So there was a fee for that. And that's what I got billed for. It was like $150. No fee to the ophthalmologist. But the eye drops that I had to take in prep, one of those was like $200 or something.
Really?
Yeah. There were three kinds of eye drops. I know one was an antibiotic, and one was, I think, a dilation thing. And
Fred Forte.
And one of them was this expensive one, you know.
Yeah, we'll have to get.
So I guess I spent about $450 or $400, I guess, $350 or $400 on having the cataracts dealt with.
Some of my eye drops are practically free, but one of them is $400 every 3 months.
Not, and you know, it's been a while, but I've had a yearly appointment with an ophthalmologist, and usually they call me around now because it's always November, and they don't try to make it a year ahead of time in their books. But I haven't heard from them yet. But one thing they said was happening, the last checkup I had, was that a membrane was growing over one lens.
Mhm.
And they said, this happens all the time. And that they zap with a laser. But they do it when it's needed. So they say, has your vision been reduced, you know, substantially? No. Okay, we'll wait a little bit. Only in the one eye, and it said doesn't happen with everybody, but it does happen. I think that's an analog to plaque building up in an injury spot. I mean, you know, basically you put a foreign body in there, artificial lens, and the body reacts to it somehow.
I think I had some double eye surgery probably 20 years ago or more. And I didn't pay for it, but I did look at the bill, and I think they billed like $20,000 for it. But somebody without insurance would not get this.
Well, when I had the stent put in the artery, that was totally covered by my health insurance at the time. That I, you know, a group insurance through work, which I paid $20 a month for. But I started getting dunned by a collection agency. So wait a minute, this should be covered. What's this all about? And so the statements they were sending me, it was more like $90,000. Everything. And the really funny part, I'm looking at it itemized. You know, this was 20,000, this was 10, this was whatever. And there was one item that said 50 cents. I'm like, what the heck was that? Turned out it was the aspirin they gave me one night. So, not that much, but one aspirin pill, 50 cents. I mean, that's pretty steep in its own way.
I just paid 40 cents for a month of the drug today.
A month of aspirin?
No, it's not aspirin.
Oh.
Furosemide.
Oh, okay.
Diuretic. But it didn't cost very much.
I made a mess. Popcorn all over the place.
What?
You're lucky you can eat that stuff. It's kind of hard on the teeth.
What? What is she eating?
Popcorn.
That's what I'm eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just plain unsalted, unbuttered popcorn.
Did you make it?
No, Costco made it.
Oh, that's what I got, Skinny Pop. The white bag, Skinny Pop.
Well, it's a white bag.
Not Skinny Pop?
No, it's called organic, nearly naked popcorn.
Oh,
And nearly naked because I think it has a little bit of salt.
oh.
And it says 35 calories per cup. That's pretty low.
Unless you
Yeah.
And you know, if you don't put butter and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And you know, popcorn does have the advantage of having some fiber if you're not getting enough fiber otherwise.
It's a low cal snack. It is.
Oh yeah. And
I
since
broke a couple of teeth with it with popcorn.
oh my gosh.
I don't do it anymore.
I can't see. I can't read this.
Well, you're supposed to take the popcorn off of the ear of corn.
I love corn.
Maybe if I got Costco instead of making it myself, it'd be better.
Oh, this is what? 150 calories. For, I don't know, for serving. How big is the serving?
I don't know, but this says per
Oh,
cup.
150 calories. Wow. For 3/4 of a cup.
That
Wow.
must have butter in it. Yeah.
Oh,
Must
wow.
have something.
Listen, I bought lobster bisque, frozen lobster bisque
That sounds good.
at Walmart. and what's the fish one? Friday, the creamy a fish one, seafood one.
Clam chowder.
Yeah, and clam chowder. 670 calories, one serving.
Say nothing of the amount of salt, right?
Oh, I don't know anything about salt.
All soup
Well,
always has
I
salt.
never worry about it. I don't add salt to any food, ever. Well, that's not true.
But if you get a prepared soup, you're gonna have salt.
Yeah, there's salt. I don't think there's a lot of salt in this stuff. There's calories. It's cream. It's good.
Once in a while, it's okay.
It's made by Panera, and they put it in Walmart in these containers. Jewel has it too.
Their bread has a lot of salt too.
So I don't eat shrimp very often, but shrimp is real high in cholesterol, I was told.
But
Maybe.
it,
So is lobster.
I don't think it's a bad cholesterol.
Yeah, I don't know what kinds it has. It may be a spectrum.
Just don't eat too much of it.
You know, it was probably Jewish doctors telling me not to eat shrimp and lobster. That's what it was.
Probably. Yeah.
It also does have cholesterol.
I'm calling up Jeremy.
Ah,
Anyway,
yeah.
Let's see what else I had to.
I've been eating a certain amount of sushi, salmon, rice, sushi,
Sushi?
salmon roll,
Hmm.
salmon and
Oh,
avocado.
you should get omega-3 there.
What, Noramaki? Is that what you're eating?
Called salmon roll. It's
It's like a Noramaki.
I don't know. It's called sushi, but anyway,
It's wrapped in seaweed.
yeah, seaweed. Yeah, it's wrapped in seaweed, but these they put rice on the outside instead of the inside. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
Noramaki.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the latest use for seaweed,
What?
they're
What?
they're putting in feed for cows.
What?
It may be a specific kind of seaweed. I don't know. Apparently, if you feed cows seaweed, they belch uh, uh, a lot less. They put a lot less methane in the
In the air?
in the air. Yeah.
Oh,
Seaweed as opposed to grass.
I
What
don't
else
know.
would
Grass is probably better than just regular grass is probably better than that grain, whatever grain they've been feeding them. In cow. Well, no, they feed them alfalfa, right? I don't know.
I don't know what they feed cows. I don't eat meat anymore. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the sushi is pretty low and bad things except the soy sauce you put on it, which is pretty high in salt.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, rice is a starch, but you're not eating tons of it.
brown rice. There.
Yeah, well, it's harder to get brown rice.
Brown rice? Easy to get.
Yeah, but it's hard to get the sushi made with brown rice. They do make it, not readily available.
Yeah.
Well, I think one thing about brown rice is that it doesn't stick together as much as white rice. Maybe a little harder to manipulate in shape,
Different kinds of.
And there's different kinds of regular rice that that some are better for making sushi than others.
Yeah, there's sushi rice and not sushi rice. There's jasmine rice. I don't think that's good for sushi. I don't know. I'm going to bed.
You're going to bed. Okay.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Well,
thanks for your conversation.
Sure.
We've been talking too much. I'm sorry.
Pardon?
We've been talking too much. We should listen to you instead.
Oh, no. I'm going to sleep. Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, bye.
Good night.
So, John, you will not be there next week.
Not there next week, but then I should be
No.
for a number
I
of
got to
weeks
figure
after.
out how to see you because Carol always says he's not there. He's not there.
Well, I'll tell you the funny thing is, did you hang up already? No.
No, I'm here.
The funny thing is that shortly after I was on, I got pinned. So, because I had it on speaker
Oh,
view.
she should have seen that.
I don't know who did the pinning. I was side by side with the the dancers. So I figured, oh, okay, somebody knows I'm here. And then it went back to normal, I guess, or whatever you call it.
I gotta figure out a better way, more reliable way of finding out if you're
Okay.
there.
I'll send a little drone over to Skokie.
Yeah. Yeah, do that. All right. Good night, peoples.
Good night.
Right.
Is there anything up this weekend that I should be watching?
San Antonio.
Is that, do I have to register?
You have to register, but it's free. They take donations.
I have to register.
I think, does it start on Friday or Thursday? I can't remember. I think Friday.
Friday.
Oh.
And then
Friday to Sunday, Friday through Sunday.
yeah, and then the following week is when the memorial for Bora is.
Oh,
That's Sunday the 16th, I guess it
I
is.
missed a lot of the world camp. I don't know what, I saw some Friday night. That's all
Yeah, I didn't see any World Camp.
It was not very good.
I forgot about World Camp,
It's
frankly.
hard to see and they were very slow.
Oh, okay, good night again.
Okay, good night.
Lila Tov.
Lila Tov.
Thank you. Good night.
Well, should I wake up Carrie or let sleeping dogs lie? I might have to wait.
John, I'm still here.
Oh, I noticed you're here. I figured you're here.
Yeah,
I
it was
thi-
73 degrees here today.
Oh, a warm spell, huh?
Yeah.
I think it made it up to close to that today, but yesterday was in the 50s.
Right.
It's 88 here today.
And I think I think we have a few more temperate days, and then the fan hits the spit or whatever they say.
Yeah, frost Friday night.
There you go.
Frost? Well, we're not gonna get a frost, but it's yeah, 71 now, which is kind of nice if you're going out at night.
Oh yeah. Oh, so that same thing happening here. Wow. Tomorrow is 73 going down to 46. Friday is 54 going down to 34. That's going to be a frost. And then the next night it's 60 going down to 43. So there's
The
that little
lowest this week is 60.
Well, count your blessings.
Yeah, well, at least it's not as hot as it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Daytime is 80, 85. I think it was 90 today. 88.
Well, here it was kind of lockstep with the official seasons. Like between the day before fall began and the first day of fall, there was like, okay, time to be fall weather. Boom.
Yeah.
Temperature dropped 20 degrees. You know?
It's kind of funny that way.
Yeah.
Well, I heard a good part of the Radetzky March book
Uh-huh.
up to the beginning of the war. World War One.
One of those wars.
Yeah, well, they're all the same, and we're going to have another one. This one's going to be much worse than that.
Well, I think the question is whether we're going to have a nuclear war or not.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Can't quite see how we're going to avoid it.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's a
Is anybody smart enough to figure it out?
well, there has to be some sort of coup in Russia to keep it from happening. Somebody has to get.
Well, I read part of the article in the Times about this on this today. I didn't get all of it, but he's basically saying you got to have it like you have to have something like what Kennedy had in 13 days. That you have to be a back channel where people can actually make rational negotiations,
Yeah.
and that may be going on, but I don't see it. See it.
Well,
You're not supposed to see it, but you can hope. I don't know. Doesn't seem like either Biden or Putin are ready.
the military pundits I've heard commenting say, Putin could stop the war tomorrow. Zelensky could stop Ukraine tomorrow. they didn't put it quite that way. I mean, basically, they were saying the war would end if Putin would end it. Ukraine would end if Zelensky did not continue to resist. Yeah, so
Yeah.
and you know he's
Well,
doing. If there's going to be negotiations, he's going to do his best, Zelensky, to reclaim as much of Ukraine as he can, because that'll be the position from which they bargain.
well, the position he's been taking is that he wants everything back, and he's not finished until he gets it.
Yeah,
That's
but
not a very good negotiating
right,
position.
but I can see
Not very peaceful either. I mean, even if Russia stopped today, Zelensky is saying he wants all of the East back and what is it,
Crimea back.
and all that
Yeah.
rest of it. Yeah.
But the compromise position, I mean, that's what he should say for negotiation purposes. But the compromise might be to restore the border to the January 2020, status. Although that kind of leaves those areas.
Oh, they were fighting in the East for, was it 6, 8 years?
Oh yeah, it kind of leaves those two areas, Donetsk and Luhansk, in an ambiguous state. But I don't think that Russia was declaring the border of Russia to be the other side of Donetsk and Luhansk. They didn't do that until they had their little referendum. Pardon me?
That's what those referendums were supposed to do.
Yes, I'm saying back in 2020,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Russia was claiming those two areas to be part of Russia. It's only after this referendum, they were supporting freedom fighters, right? In those so-called freedom fighters, rebels in those two areas that wanted autonomy from Ukraine. And then, you don't want, well, he doesn't want a domino effect. He's got all these Russian defectors pouring into Georgia. And of course, the Georgian-Russian conflict, that was 6 or 7 years before the Crimean one. It was like 2008, 2009, when Russia seized North Ossetia from Georgia. They took a chunk of the land in the Caucasus. So I don't know.
A little discouraging.
Yeah.
Biden should know about this stuff, but I don't think he's really a foreign policy expert.
No, but either was Trump, so.
Oh,
Presidents generally are not foreign policy experts. I'm trying to think of one that might have been.
some of them are trying to learn.
Well, yeah.
Like Kansas. I'll have to read that book. I never did read it.
So, Janet, you've got 60 seconds to say something intelligent.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know what to say.
There was
I've just
something
been listening. Is the Zoom session going to end?
Well, we were holding out for Deet to come on, but she has come on and left. So that our civic responsibility has been taken care of. And at the moment, I'm the host. So I can end it.
He's not going to carry on with me unless you talk.
Well,
Carrie's not saying much of anything. I don't know.
But at least he's awake again.
All right, well,
yeah. It's
Or
still
has his eyes
recording.
it's still recording? Oh, yeah, so it is.
Oh. Well, that's going to be interesting.
Who's,
Now, I guess that's something I can change, but I don't know how to
who
change it.
is saving it?
So Bobby left it on recording.
Oh,
So, well, of course, when we hang up, it'll stop, but I don't know where to go to stop recording because I'm clicking on where it says recording and that doesn't do it.
doesn't?
Oh, here. Now I got it. Yes.
Okay.
No, it didn't. It didn't make it go away.